Hello everybody, welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. We've made oleochemicals now, which is pretty nice. And then any excess lard should... it looks like we have excess brains. Is that what's happening here? Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Right, because we only turn brains into lard if we have not a... You know what? We might need to change this, because now we're going to have excess lard that could be turned into oleochemicals. So we can essentially turn brains into oleochemicals as well. So this needs to output brains if we're low on oleochemicals or what should we call it? Or lard. So wait, what? What is this even measuring? Oh, that's attached to a red. This is the green one. The red one's here, and the red one has the lard. Okay. Would it be a problem to connect this red one to our oleochemicals? Which is this red one? I don't think so. I think that would be fine. So red from here to here to here. And then we're adding in a bunch of random signals, but that shouldn't mess with... Wait. Hold on. No, that is gonna mess with stuff. Why is this one hooked up with red? I never do that. That's so weird. Shoot. Oh, that's annoying. So I feel like there's gotta be a better way to do this. I mean, honestly, I probably should just use a radar. Okay, my music did the thing again where it stopped. It finished the track it was playing, and then it stopped. What is going on? I wonder if some sort of Spotify or OBS update, like, I think once I start recording, it like finishes the song that it's playing and then it pauses or something. Because I feel like that's happened every single episode now. I get the music going, I start recording, and then I find that the music has stopped. But it doesn't stop the moment I start recording. That is so weird. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, what if we just passed the red signal here? That's a pretty messy red signal. To pass through a radar, but we could. I guess we just need to feed. We just need a decider, another decider combinator. Maybe. Problem is, this red one is the one that's inputting to that, so I can't mix these two red signals because this red signal is also going to a train station somewhere. No idea where. This one. So I guess I can just decider combinator on oleochemicals. Oh, right, that doesn't work that way. Okay, hook that up. Decider combinator here. on oleochemicals. So that's enabled if lard is less than 1.5K. So what we'll do is we'll just simulate. Gosh, I feel like I'm going crazy trying to do all this crap. No, because then that'll pass. No, that's just bad juju. Okay, so what we need to do instead is take the red signal off of this entirely. And then we need to combine forces. We need to measure if lard is low and if oleochemicals is low, which unfortunately can't be done in the same combinator because they're both red. And if I combine them on red, they'll connect to each other. That would be cool if you could have combinators have a separate plugins for the same color wire on this. I know that doesn't really, it's not really necessary, but it'd be cool. All right, so oleochemicals output green. That's gonna output green. That's lard is less than a certain amount, and then both of those. What's even on this green signal? That's just a belt raider. I don't even know what's going on. We'll just keep it the red channel for now. Oh, goodness. All right, those will be hooked up to that, and that will be enabled if green is greater than 0. All right, I was going to wait for the bots to get here, but they're not getting here very fast, are they? Oh my gosh, that one... Why is he going that way? What on earth? Oh, he's just storing one. I see. That must have been from when I requested one and then canceled the request. Wait, where am I? Okay, they gotta be here soon, right? I need more bot speed upgrades. So excited to have tier 2 bots. There we go. Drink some coffee. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Gotta hit Q. I had coffee in my hand. All right, less than 2,500. Or oleochemicals less than, let's say 100,000. So we'll utilize brains up to 100,000. We'll steal lard from here if we're below 60,000. I might even go up to 120,000. Because, I mean, that's just utilizing brains, which, you know, I'm probably going to have an excess of a lot of the time. Alright, maybe I should have just done oleochemicals with trains, but it's done now. It's done and dusted. Okay, what's next? I know we need to work on a lot of this stuff. We could start on hydrogen peroxide, I think. I think we've unlocked all this. So it needs acid gas, ammonia, naphthalene. Uh-oh. Wait, naphthalene? Ew. Naphthalene, huh? It's not very much, but it is annoying. What I might do is make it on site with a single tar processing and just void all this other stuff. It's certainly wasteful to do it that way, but it would work. It's only 13 tar. It does use a lot of tar processing plant though for a pretty small amount. And don't we get naphthalene from something else too? Or is that anthracene? What the heck? Wait, what is this? I like found a different menu. What the heck? Have I gone mad? Did this recipe selector change? Oh, okay. Somehow that got turned off, and I was freaking out there. Okay, there we go. That's what we wanted. So pitch and middle oil both create naphthalene. Okay, I see. So when you turn the pitch into naphthalene, that's another... what was that? 5 to 1? Yeah, so 5 pitch here is like 4 more naphthalene. Okay. Anyway, what might be better to do is steal from this. Is what's currently happening with all my naphthalene. Yeah, I'm just changing it into extra org solve or creosote, and we've got lots of extra. So I think I might just, yeah, look here, perfect. I think I'm comfortable saying that we'll just store some naphthalene here and call it a day. Naphthalene, not naphtha. This is green wire. Okay, so that hooks that up, and then... Okay, so let's follow... What is naphthalene doing? So naphthalene is coming from our coke, our pitch cracking output. And then it's also coming from our middle oil cracking output. And that's all connected to creosote making first. And then after that, if it overflows, it's connected to this one, which is the input for org solve. Then after that, if it overflows, I think that just gets burnt up. Yes. Okay. Which, now that I think about it, we probably should add a little tank on this section for the org solve. Overflow part. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna pump out directly here. And then this way we will utilize naphthalene first on the train network before we use it for creosote. I seem to have enough creosote for now, which is a good sign. All right, so that should get naphthalene available. Arthropod blood. We're gonna have to figure out the correct situation for making, for rendering Xyhiphoes versus Xyhiphoe. I don't think we ever solved that fully. All right, so ignore this, ignore this. So this is truly what we need here. And I'm gonna boost up the output by quite a bit here. Let's go to like 20. Just to have more realistic numbers that we might need eventually. There's no way we can handle this much arthropod blood though. I mean, it's not, this is definitely more, like I could maybe handle half this if I was doing Xyhiphoe and Zippier and, you know, some arcads or something, but yeah, this is all reasonable numbers of buildings, you know, nothing is crazy here. There is a centrifuge though. Why does this say consumption 1.3 gigawatts, but then energy 258.4 megawatts? Does anyone understand that? What the heck? What is consumption versus energy? I'm not understanding this. What on earth? If anyone understands what that consumption is, let me know, because I'm not understanding. There it says energy 516 kilowatts. Consumption 1.4 megawatts. What the heck? I'm so confused. What is that? I mean, none of these seem to make sense. Like that one says 1.3 megawatts, 0%, 18.6 megawatts. And this is 1.7 megawatts. I assume the 1.3 megawatts is per building. Does that line up? Yeah, that seems to line up. Yeah, and then this is actually multiplied. This is the consumption multiplied by the energy. But what is consumption on this tooltip? Whatever it is very wrong. And it seems to make no sense. And I like that one's multiplied by 10 for reasons I can't begin to fathom. This one's multiplied by about 6. This one's multiplied by about 15. What on earth? I might take a picture of that. I don't know if there's a bug here. I just don't know what that's displaying. The block consumption is 17 megawatts. And that's not what these are displaying. I'm at a loss for that one. Anyway, back to hydrogen peroxide. We're gonna need this, so let's just work on it. I don't know where though. Maybe the same block as molybdenum could be good. Or well, we've got a free spot here. This could be a good place for it. We're gonna need how many solids? 1, 2, 3, 4, but all in relatively small wait, no, not relatively small quantities. We need a crap ton of tailings dust. Enough to where I think we should just request tailings. Oh, wow. Interesting. Although that kind of works out. Look, the acid gas amount. Yeah, that's actually kind of nice. Because then I won't need to request acid gas. I guess we should make acid gas the one that we do. And then we'll have a few extra tailings dust that I can void. I can just burn them or something. Or what can we do with tailings dust? We can separate it and then burn the rich dust with the coal dust and then burn the coal dust in the boiler. Eventually we'll be able to make more arthropod blood from it with phytoplankton. Can't do that yet. So yeah, I guess we'll do it this way. Or we could request a few acid gas bits. But this seems easier. Okay, and then steam. This is hot steam or cold steam? I don't actually know. This is any temperature steam, so that can be cold steam. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3 solids. A good amount of iron oxide, which we don't really have yet, but we'll get there eventually, I think. And then as far as solids, we have nothing. Okay. I'll leave that station there, though. And we need to request 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fluids. And we will provide 1, and then I don't feel like that's enough flue gas to concern myself with it. So we're just providing 1. Actually surprisingly simple in terms of stations. I just need 2 fluid requesters. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna pull the plug. We're gonna reshape this to be what we need here, because we know that one connects like this. The real trick is getting 1 more in here, because we can't, right? Because that's how it fits. But there's just no place to put. Well, if I remove that power pole, if I remove this signal, I can put 1 there. But then we still need a signal. But that signal can go there. That's fine. There's no reason that's bad. So then that does interfere a little bit with like what square we can extract from. I guess what we can do is this. And then I think I want these to be dual directional at all times. And that way it's just already set up for that. And then that one will go out that way. And then this one will go out that way. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Get rid of these. And this way I can just be done with all the nonsense chaos of adding those every single time. I should have done this like 100 hours ago, to be honest. Because what's this cost me? 3... Oh, are we missing power now? Okay, good. I can't fit a power pole here. Yeah, I mean, this cost me, you know, 2 tanks per and a few pipes. And it will keep me from having to do all of that busy work every time. I also think I can clean this up a little bit by doing that. And then this. And then that way those are just all connected. Okay. Make sure everything's wired up properly. Power, all the pumps are powered up. Cool. All right, so then we need to F requester extension, select new contents, this. Parameterization should be fine without changing it. Request 1 amount. Oh, I guess we need all three. In the requester. $31,500. Is that what I did for that one? $31,250. Such a specific number. Oh, do I need a different number for each of those? Is this where see, this might be one of those cases where parameterization is stupid. And I don't mean stupid like designed stupidly. I mean, it just is quite literally like the system isn't smart enough to know the difference between those three numbers. Yeah. See, it when you use the same number, this is one weakness of parameterization. Like, I'm using the same number in three different spots, so it assumes I want that number to be globally the same always. But it's like, no, they're just the same in this case, but I want to be able to set them separately. So the only way to do that is to have these be different numbers, which is just silly to me. It's like the fact that they're the same number now should not dictate that they will be the same number always. I should be able to, you know, separate them out. But once you set things to be the same number, it like clumps them into one variable, no matter what you do. And now, see, it'll let me separate these out as parameters. And we can call them X, Y, and Z, as it were. I am just gonna actually keep the request threshold. I'm just gonna keep threshold rather than auto calculating it based on the first one, because that's what we have been doing. I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'll leave it as a parameter. It'll default to 25,000. And we'll just do this. Okay. And we don't need these to be variables because we're not doing anything with all that. And then train stop limit. I don't know what the 14 is. Channel 3. That's the item request threshold, which doesn't matter. Okay. That should do what we want. So when we paste this down, we get the things we're requesting and then the amounts we're requesting. And then we can change the threshold if we want. I also think this is just a bad display, like GUI wise. Why are these text boxes so short? There's so much empty space over here, and yet these text boxes are so tiny that they're cutting off a fairly small number. Like 30,000 is not that huge of a number. I guess it's negative 30,000, but even 30,000 without the negative would be cut off. So yeah, the parameterization thing is pretty half-baked, to be blunt. For Factorio's standards, it's very half-baked. I know that there were multiple devs that like didn't even want it to be added into the game. It was a bit of a debate internally, so I think it's kind of the you know, unpopular child, the black sheep of the family, and only certain people work on it, and they haven't gotten around to it, apparently, to improving it. I'm hoping 2.1 brings some serious improvements to this whole system, because as strong as it is, it has some glaring weaknesses right now, and even some bugs that are known and haven't been fixed for months, which, again, for the Factorio team is kind of unheard of. To have a bug that's been in the game literally for months and it hasn't been fixed, like that's weird to me. It's very weird to me. All right, now we're gonna fix the provider. Okay, we should be able to do the same thing here. Boom, 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 boom. Signal, power. Detach, detach. Wire these up, wire that up. And that's also wired to that one. Okay. And then the output is wired to these guys. Set to be on that one, and that one. And those are all wired up. Okay. And then those are still parameterized, and that is channel 1 by default. Should be good. I don't think we need to do anything else there. F provider, new contents. Provide 1, provide 2, provide 3. Sweet. I think it is fixed. Wait, that wasn't... I guess... No, surely not. The old version was... This wasn't a long enough... Oh, it was long enough. Oh, okay. Well, that does slightly change things. What it means is that an exiting train won't quite be able to get out of the way of the incoming train. So it could slightly reduce throughput. Shouldn't create any issues with like deadlocks or anything, because this still has an incoming train limit of 2. So there'll be 1 here, 1 can safely wait here. So it shouldn't be possible for that to be an issue. It's just that the one that's arriving won't be able to fully, it'll still be waiting here until this one's exited onto the main thoroughfare. Okay, wait, what is happening? Oh yeah, the lard by default first goes to here. Wow, we have a lot of lard coming in. Okay. Because all excess brains, which apparently we had a lot of, are being turned into lard. And this one doesn't start dumping lard until it starts spoiling. Interesting. It doesn't dump lard just because we have a lot of it. Is that going to be a problem someday? Like, is this 432 slots? I should be okay. I think. Anyway, I digress. It's already been half an hour. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. This episode is getting away from me. I'm getting nothing done. All right, anyway, no, we got something done. Look, this is super nice because now I can just F requester, and this is going to save so much time moving forward. Because now we can look at our numbers, and like tailings we're going to need a lot of. In fact, I might even need 2 tailings requesters. 280 a second is a lot. It's 1 train every 100 seconds. I might need 2 tailings requests, which is unfortunate because then I have too many fluids. Cold steam needs to be an FR fungible though. So that actually works out okay. Okay, so that'll be the max amount. And then from there, we need oxygen. What's 33 a second? We'll just do 50K. It really would be nice to see the whole number at once. And then we need ammonia, also 50K. Because 100 seconds there is 4,000, so yeah, we get like 5 minutes of buffer or whatever. All right, ammonia. Okay, done. And then the second one will be for Naphthalene. Please tell me it's naphthalene and not anthracene. Anthra is a triple hex look, and this is the double hex, so it's naphthalene. Okay. So naphthalene, 50k. We already got ammonia. What am I missing? Did I miscount? We'll do our second tailings. What did I miss here? We said oh, arthropod blood. That's what it is. Arthropod blood. All right. And that is going to be 50,000. All right, cool. So that's done. And then we're going to need an F provider as well, which for now is just going to be peroxide. Do we need the anthraquinone for other things? I think we do. Ah! Spent Nexalit battery, hydrogen peroxide, and later dynamicin. What am I doing? What I want to do is pull it up here. Okay. So we will need it for Nexalit batteries. And maybe the barrels? Nope, no barrels needed. And a crazy... Who would ever make fiberboard with anthraquinone? Unless it gets way cheaper with... I guess it kind of does. That's a cheaper recipe. And maybe caged xenos later. But even that's going to be expensive. I don't know. Anyway, we might as well provide it as a option. And let's get another roboport in here. And F provider for peroxide and anthraquinone. Done. I could even maybe provide coal bed gas. Let's see. Coal bed gas. How often do I use coal bed gas? It's used in this recipe specifically. It's used in cadaveric arums, but it looks like only for breeding the higher tiers. We can make acid gas out of it. We can make seed. Yeah, we're never gonna do that. This is the only one I can imagine we'd ever do. Maybe this one? But it needs this one needs so much hot air, it's ridiculous. And this one you'd never do. There's so many better ways to make syngas. I think the problem with these is just the amount of hot air they require, which is why this one is theoretically potentially okay to use. But even then, look at this. We need one coal bed extractor for just 10 coal bed gas a second. So unless we can boost that rate by an absurd amount, you're still better off just making coal gas by burning raw coal and destroying the rest of the products. You know, maybe in a hard mode world, there's a world where that's more useful. I don't know. For now, though, I don't think we have any need to put coal bed gas anywhere else. Okay, I was going to look at the arthropod blood situation because I think that's going to become an issue if we're not careful. Also, what did we break here? So this is wanting arcad venom. And that's on me. What did I even... What did I do? Wasn't this supposed to be providing oleochemicals? Yeah, I just never hooked it up. Cool. All right. Wow, dropped the ball on that one. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And then we need to get over to the oleos. Right here. Okay. All right, well, that should fix that. I don't know why I totally just forgot to connect that one up. I connected this to there, but then I didn't connect it to the provider. Okay, so back to my question of arthropod blood. So for that, we have 500% of what we need. Let's boost that up a little bit then. Like 350. Oh, there goes a train load of it. Just saw it right in front of our eyes. Okay, so this is saying we render arcads for arthropod. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. Okay, so first of all, what is this amount that we're gonna get? Divide by 350 means that at 35k, we'll be at 100% of what we want. I don't like that. We need a bigger margin. At 100k, so we'll divide by 1,000. So arcads will only turn on then. Where's my arcad rendering signal? Arcads will only turn on for arthropod blood if we are underneath 30,000 arthropod blood. Now, I don't have a Xyhiphoe rendering flow at all yet. Nor do I have Xyhiphoe. Okay. So it's time to figure all that part out. Because what we have... How's power, by the way? Every time I see this, I think about power. We're doing fine, it seems. In fact, for whatever reason, I don't know if certain things have backed up, but yeah, power usage just isn't that high right now. And we've got our 1 gigawatt. But I got nothing else going on, so I might as well throw down one more chunk. Maybe 2 more chunks. In the tidal fields. Okay. So down here, we got the Xyhiphoe running based on... How did we do all this again? No, we send a fish rendering signal if Xyhiphoe is low, like really low, and we have more than enough fish. Okay. So and the reason is because producing fish will produce fish food, which then will run Xyhiphoe, because that's basically the only cost to Xyhiphoe, along with some filtration media and phytoplankton and some other roughly free things. So then the Xyhiphoe runs as a fish byproduct. Basically, it's a fish byproduct. So by running fish, we end up also running Xyhiphoe. And when we run Xyhiphoe, we will end up running fish. So then the question is... What is the question? So do we render Xyhiphoe or Xyhiphoe at a higher priority? This is getting really tricky now, to make arthropod blood. Because if we render Xyhiphoe first, and we keep rendering Xyhiphoes, then we'll have all these extra Xyhiphoe that won't be getting rendered. But if we're low on Xyhiphoe, then it'll also tell it to render fish. So like, let's say I render Xyhiphoe at a higher priority, then we'll run out of Xyhiphoe, which is fine. But then since we'll be out of Xyhiphoe, it'll render fish if we have extra. Which will mean we're not rendering Xyhiphoe then. It'll just keep making fish, rendering Xyhiphoe, and then the fish are just getting wasted when we should be rendering some Xyhiphoe in there. So we need to be rendering both, which is a weird and annoying thing. So if I'm rendering Xyhiphoe only, basically we need to measure Xyhiphoe, and if it's to a certain amount, maybe we force render some Xyhiphoe. Yeah, maybe we just start rendering Xyhiphoe when this thing gets full. That's my best idea currently. So I'm gonna send the contents of this chest on red channel to here. So we need to add that onto our list here. Let's see, Xyhiphoe red from Xyhiphoe farm, amount in chest, train chest. Okay. So then we're measuring how many are in here. So if this is just full of Xyhiphoe, then I think we'll turn on Xyhiphoe rendering. Unless we need to have an and in there. If this is full and arthropod blood isn't overflowing. I don't want to waste arthropod blood. That doesn't seem necessary. Because if this backs up, that's fine. It'll still save us on filtration media, liquid. Like, I don't want to run this for zero reason, I don't think. Although we do get freebie. What do we get? We get free meat and guts and shell on top of that. And can arthropod blood be turned into anything else? Like if we just had extra? Kind of. Can turn it into, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that recipe. Not really. It doesn't seem like. Eventually we can turn it directly into organic solvent. That's very late game. So for now, I'm thinking, why is that not getting built? I ordered that to be built forever ago. Did it really take a bot that long to get down here? It does. Wow, we are so far away. This base is big. Okay, so what we're thinking now is we're gonna measure so that one's specifically the vertical, but now we have a Xyhiphoe signal. Okay, just wanted to make sure that's not gonna like corrupt anything on this end. So we want a command rendering of Xyhiphoe if arthropod blood is low and Xyhiphoe. If I can find the actual creature. Am I doing this right? I think so. Okay, why? Riddle me this, commenters. Why did I Why did I do this in the first place? Because if I'm understanding correctly, what this does is it renders fish if we're low on Xyhiphoe. And we're already backed up on fish. But why am I doing that in the first place? Why does that matter? Why did I set this up? Because we don't need Xyhiphoe. Xyhiphoe are just supposed to be a byproduct of when fish is running for other things. Right? So this whole thing is a scam. I didn't even need this in the first place. What I could have done is just set up Xyhiphoe to always render. Always. Every Xyhiphoe I ever get can just get rendered. And then we turn this off, so we're never directly rendering fish to make more Xyhiphoe. And then instead we let the Zapier rendering cause the fish to run, which then causes Xyhiphoe to get created, which then automatically get rendered. Am I correct in that? Is that... Leave a comment. Let me know. I'm pretty sure we do not need this, and I can just remove this entirely, and then we'll just render all Xyhiphoe. Always. And then we'll just always be utilizing that extra fish food byproduct. I mean, I guess we should only render Xyhiphoe if we need the products, because we are still spending some resources and we're spending fish food that could go elsewhere. Because right now we're splitting the fish food 50-50 to trains and to Xyhiphoe. So, you know, there is that. There's the opportunity cost of fish food not going to other places, which I guess doesn't matter? Wait, really? Oh, I thought fish food was an ingredient in some other, I feel like I swear it was an ingredient in some other bio stuff. It's literally only for fish and for Xyhiphoe. Oh, never mind then. Why do I have fish food on trains? I am not proud of that decision. Yeah, there's no reason I have fish food on trains at all. It's literally just for fish. Am I missing a recipe here? This is all fish and fish eggs, and then Xyhiphoe and Xyhiphoe larvae. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the only cost to Xyhiphoe really is the filtration media and phytoplankton, which are pretty small amounts if I'm understanding correctly. Yeah, I mean 0.093, but that's like 0.9. That's like 5 phytoplankton a second. I guess that's not nothing. Those are 15 a second if they're all running full. How much is our phytoplankton making? Okay. That's not a zero cost. I'll get better ways to make phytoplankton, though, eventually. Anyway, I leave a comment about me deleting this vertical bar signal. I'm pretty sure we can just totally remove that and just let Xyhiphoe render as we get it. Basically using all spare fish food to make Xyhiphoe for rendering. Let me know if there's a problem with that idea. It seems to be a good idea to me. So for now, what we'll set up is a request for Xyhiphoe, first of all, and Zapier, because we don't have either of those. Where's our train? Where's the state? Oh, it's on this side. Okay, so we need to request Xyhiphoe regulars, 15 stacks, and Zapier regular 15 stacks. And we're gonna need to figure out the belting of those. I don't think either of them go in cages, which is nice. And full render Xyhiphoe signal. And this one's also gonna have the red attachment. Xyhiphoe's greater than 2000. And arthropod blood is less than the full 100. Okay. And then we need to have the cancellation signal. If Xyhiphoe less than... Do they render by themselves? Yeah, they do. It was less than 30. Output -1 of the full render Xyhiphoe signal. Boom. Cancel that out because we don't have them yet. That's how it's supposed to work. All right, and then copy that down because this is going to be for zip here. And full render zip here. We're gonna have to deal with shells, by the way. I haven't dealt with shells yet. Those are gonna be arriving soon. So how do we deal with shells? Shells. Okay, so full rendering Xyhiphoe gets me meat, guts, dealt with, arthropod blood, dealt with, shells, not dealt with. They do not spoil. And they stack to 100. So as far as I can tell, I'll just need another one on this belt for shell. Mostly only used to make lime. But it's 1 to 5, so I'll make lime maybe on site even. I don't know. It depends on how fast the ball mills are. Am I going to need to make this bigger? I might need to make this bigger. It's already at 330. 350. Yeah, I need to make this bigger, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to put some power poles there. Delete this. I'm going to expand it by 2 squares. That should be more than enough. That's another 72. Yeah, that's more than enough. All right. Get that all replaced. This is getting rid of anything over 7,000, which is 70 stacks, which leaves 3 train loads into a trasher. And so the trasher for shells, we'll turn it into lime or something, and we'll do something with that lime. I don't know. That should all function. Now, how do we get zip here? So, I think... These are wired up to green. We'll wire that up to green. This is wired up to green as well. Copy the settings over. Xyhiphoe to 300? That feels really high. I don't remember the count that I can manage, but the belt looks pretty empty. Like, there's not a single lane that's feeling overcrowded here. The fish lane is feeling pretty open, but the other lane has enough space still. So I'm okay loading the Xyhiphoe onto the same lane, and we'll put something else on the fish lane eventually. Okay, so then the Xyhiphoe can just go on the other side of the belt. This... Why is that set to cotton guts? That needs to be Xyhiphoe. It was probably copy-paste left over. So Xyhiphoe goes back onto there. And that should be good. And then we're gonna have to set up zip here, which isn't even here, which is kind of annoying. Looks like I finally got enough cages. Okay, I think I can open the floodgates. And should be good to go. It doesn't need to be filtered. Xyhiphoe doesn't spoil. I don't care about shell. Xyhiphoe shouldn't really get rendered for any other reason. And again, I think we're just gonna render all of them. I guess the question is the cost large enough that I shouldn't? Is the cost of Xyhiphoe from the phytoplankton and filtration media standpoint, is that large enough that I should only render Xyhiphoe to keep arthropod blood topped up? Probably better to let it stop. All right, here we are. Xyhiphoe's on the loop. Soon we should see our first rendering. Our first shells will exist in this episode. I need to be done with this episode, by the way. But I just wanted to get that going. And then we'll get this going. Merge. Okay, so now that has plenty of slots. We'll have 6 item types. I can even increase this by 5 stacks per item type. So 6 times 7.5 is 3 times 15 is 45. 450 stacks. Yeah, that leaves us with enough for another 1 or 2. Okay. I'm okay with that. And here we go, the first shells. Oh, I guess we already got the first shells, but yeah, sweet. And that'll provide us with more guts and meat randomly. Guts which can be turned into HCl even. For free. If we have less than 65,000. Wait, is that measuring? That's times 3. By the way, that's not just 65,000, that's 195,000. Because it's just measuring one of them. Don't ask me why I'm doing it that way. That seems really dumb. I'm gonna stop doing it that way. And I'm gonna start doing it this way. Because that way, again, the trains can pick up HCl all the way down to 0. When you have it set up the other way, this could have 18,000, and these both have 18,000, and a train won't be able to come pick up from it, even though it has 54,000. That's just bad idea. Okay, cool. We'll finish out the Xyhiphoe rendering in the next episode. And then we'll continue working on the thing we didn't really get to do much of, which is building out our whatchamacallit. Uh-oh. Why have we not gotten any naphthalene yet? Oh dear. Building out our what are we doing there? What's it called? Vanabins? No. Hydrogen peroxide. I am a little concerned. Why haven't I gotten naphthalene yet? Did I not hook it up correctly? This one must not have hooked it up correctly. Oh, I didn't. I forgot to replace this with a T-junction. I did everything else, I think, correctly. I assume there's a underground pipe here. Yeah, there is. Okay. And then that is wired up, and then this is filtered. So, okay, we should be good after that. All right, sweet. Well, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.